Hey guys, what's another video? Today my dad. Say hello, Dad.
Hi, yeah, Dan. Nice to see you. Nice, right then. We just thought we'd put together a quick bit of a communication to all our wonderful viewers. Would you believe, Dan? It's been a quarter of a century since the last time Albion were in this league position. So, what
Wow.
what what, what are we thinking with regards to the new manager? Because if you listen to the papers, it's going to be Roy Keane, then Michael Carrick, then Sean Dyche, then Gary Rowett. What you thinking?
Um, my thinking is, be honest with you, it's a bit of a shambles, really. It came on Twitter in midweek about the fact that Steve Bruce came in and he didn't really get interviewed. He was the first man for the job. No one else interviewed. Ron Gully mates with him, so that's not really surprising there. And for me, what surprised me a lot, Dad, is the fact that surely the board, even Ron Gawley must know, with the results happening where they have with one win to our name this season, that they're going to have to sack him one way or another. And
Well,
go on.
sorry to butt in. Well, it's quite intriguing because imagine, right, like the Albion put a job advertisement out how they should have done when Steve Bruce got the job. So when you look at it, right, what's going to be the key decisions or the key points of a good manager? Or let's just be honest, the person we need another Sir Gary Megson, but that's not going to happen. But ideally, you need somebody who's going to be able to deal with the ill discipline of the players, the fact that we've got a disruptive dressing room. It doesn't matter who says what, there's a disruptive dressing room there. And how does he deal with the toxic dressing room and the players? So first of all, have you got the skill set to deal with that?
Yeah.
Second of all, right, have you got the skill set to deal with the issues that are happening on the pitch, i.e., we're on the flanks, we're wide open. We keep on making the same mistake game after game after game. I'd ask them to explain to you what they're going to do to sort that out. Now, is there anybody available right out there that would suit that bill? Because I don't think Sean Dyche is the man, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people who've heard like WM in the midweek saying that, yes, Sean Dyche is the right man for the job. And yes, in my opinion, he has got the capabilities, but you've got to look at the signs of his style of football. Albion fans, as I said last video, we don't like the style of Tony Pulis foul ball, all these dinosaurs playing long ball forward. It's not good to watch. And yes, while he might get the result, let's be honest, if he doesn't get a result here and there, we're just going to moan. So for me, while it's a good idea getting Dyche in, yes, you're going to be negative about the way we play, if you get what I mean. And then you not forgetting, Dad, the other thing is with bringing in a young manager. While I think, in my opinion, I would love to have a young manager in, we've got to stabilise ourselves, in my opinion. This now can't be the idea of a gamble, because if we gamble and it goes wrong, we're going down. Let's be completely honest with you. We're not good enough at the moment to stay up. We've got some players, but as you said last video, we're not that good to stay up. Because in my opinion, we've got a mediocre championship team with the players we've got. Carlos Corbean, for example, yes, him and Wilder. This is what annoys me a bit. Him and Wilder are maybe the front two runners around for the job. Wilder had discussion with the owners and Ron Goy last time, and in the end, nothing happened because the owner vetoed it for the Sheffield United thing with their owners. Didn't work out. And then Carlos Corbean, he's my number one favourite for the job, to be honest with you. But if you look at it, Dad, he left Huddersfield because he fell with the owners for the amount of money he's getting. So either something's not going on right with the Albion idea that we're offering him money, but I can't see us offering the money that he might be expecting to get, if you get what I mean. And will he be able to do like the big players like Carl Grant, the Carl Barleys, the Matt Phillips, the Jake Livermores? I honestly don't think he will. And with the managers out there, I just don't think there's someone who really, goes to us and goes, yeah, I'm the right man for the job. I just don't think so.
Well, you know something, you raised some excellent points there. And the thing that worries me is the stumbling block is going to be the wages that they offer, and then you've got to pay the backroom staff. Now, is it an 18-month contract? Is it a 2-year contract, 3 or 4? My answer is this: it's going to have to be a short-term contract, because you know why? We haven't got the money to throw around like we used to have. And by the way, right, if I'm the owner of West Brom, right, just run with this for a minute.
Yeah.
And Ron Gourlay, imagine you're Ron Gourlay and you say to me, well, Mr. Lyle, it's a case of funds. We need this, we need that, we need that. And I'd say, well, hang on a tick, right? What have I been getting for my money? Why is it we've got the 5th highest wage bill, and yet we're more or less bottom of the league? And by the way, we can't go for another young manager because we went for Val and that didn't work, and we're still paying for that. We can't go for an old manager because let's just say he may show loyalty to the players. So we need somebody in between. I know everybody would disagree with me, but we need somebody until the end of the season, like a Neil Warnock, or I would suggest we're doing exactly the same as Birmingham City are doing, and they've got good results, albeit the table probably does lie with them, is that we're going to have to go with Richard Beale until the end of the season. You know why? One, is the cheaper option. Two, to get out of this position where we are at the moment, we need more than just a normal game plan. We need urgency. It's not going to be pretty to get out of this position. And then once we've stabilised, then we need a coach to coach throughout the whole ethos of the club the way forward. So by our own doing, we're in a bit of a mess. I can understand both sides. My feeling is the reason why we got Steve Bruce in is that, yes, he was a mate of Ron Gordon. And I think that his record suggests that he had the capabilities to not only be the safe pair of hands, but to sort him out in the dressing room. He's got enough skill, over 1,000 games, and I think that he fit the bill perfectly. I don't think he realised what he was walking into, which brings me on to another thing. Yeah, the person who's going to fill this gap now needs to be coming for the right reasons and not just for a quick payday. How do you judge it though? Who in the right mind with ticks all the right boxes that we want, who's going to come to the Albion knowing that within 3 or 4 months that could be out the door?
Oh,
would you trust this crop of players to get you where you need to be?
No, I wouldn't. They're too inconsistent.
So where do you
go? I think for me, it is the idea of having another safe pair of hands, and there might have to be the element of risking, because I saw earlier today about Gary Rowett, and again, that's in my opinion, that's a pointless manager to bring in, because he's doing an okay job. Mill fans I don't think they are the fondest of them. I don't think you are, Kenny. Put down in the comments. But for me, I just feel like someone like Gary Rowett, who brought him in, I just think it'd be like a pointless signing. They're saying that they want a manager to come in who can deal with a small budget. Yes, I completely agree with that. Haven't got much money, but surely there's got to be a plan going forward. There's got to be a plan. The idea of we want to aim to be up there and consolidate our place of being in the Premier League again, rather than at the moment being turbulent around the club, not knowing what's going to happen, no connection with the fans. I'm going to say again to you, Dad, the three principles when a manager comes in has to be the fan connection with the club has to come back, and the deadwood has to go, and of course the wins. The record has to keep going for the Albion.
You know, it made me laugh when you were talking then. I'm thinking to myself, budget. Well, by all accounts, we haven't got anything. So if a new man comes in and he's given a chest of gold to go and get what he wants, Steve Bruce can say, well, hang on a second, you didn't give me that. So we're in a mess by our own making. And if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, right, it needs a public health warning, our job, right? Because you've already got toxicity. Oh, I can't even say the word. You've already got toxic nature around the ground. These players, right, have seen off 2 managers now. They'll probably think, you know what, if a young manager comes in, he'll get ripped to bits.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then I've got to add this point in there, guys. But Dad, what do you think of the idea of the scouting network? The fact that we're not really looking at players like abroad, like having a good scouting network behind, bringing different players and different little gems, and the fact that we're looking at players that we already had from the club from the past, and we know about them, or we've played their team, we know about them. And the Asante thing about Bruce's nephew, Matt Smith, a striker, and he went to see him and seen Asante. I think that's actually dreadful. You know what I mean?
Well, if that's the case, you know, I know a window cleaner, and there's a bloke who was watching a 5-side match the other night under 18s, and this bloke was scoring goals for fun. Anyway, no, you know what? I think it replicates the mistakes that have gone on within the playing staff. So we used to have Dan Ashworth, technical director. Behind the scenes, we were fantastic. When Sir Gary Megson come on board, he got his dad to do the scouting. So they did learn the lessons, and they had the scouts far and wide. So in summary, right, we've got a situation where we used to have the most envied scouting setup and foundation trust behind the scenes. Now, right, we haven't replaced Dan Ashworth. The younger players where we've spent our hard-earned money and coached him to the best of their ability, have buggered off, right? So it literally is ground zero.
And then I'm at a point to Dad. What you said to me so many times, we haven't replaced players like Brunty or Moz, have we?
No, we are the classic example of how not to manage a football club. And I think that if I was Gucci and Lyra, what made me laugh, the weekend, and I'm only being having a laugh because otherwise I go mad. There's the crowd saying about slanting Gucci and Lyra. He weren't even at the ground. He wouldn't have even heard that. So do we really want to know him like that? No. I think I stay it now, and I know I'm going to hate myself for saying it. I know I'm going to get pelted. It won't be a bad thing if we went down, because you know what? We need to start from the very beginning with the whole club, behind the scenes, the backroom staff, the scouting, the infrastructure with the youngsters, the decision-making process. We need the lot, and I'll tell you something. This season's written off.
No, it looks like it, isn't it? But I've got
just to add, sorry, and you got me on my soapbox now. Just to add insult to injury, we've got tickets for Sunderland. How the bloody hell am I going to go to a night match on a Monday night at Sunderland?
Exactly.
You know what?
You got to think about the fans, haven't you? Really,
that's why I mentioned it. Do the club really care?
They don't, do they? The thing is, though, the supporters make the club, and putting in a Monday night game at Sunderland mean that you're going to get back to about 3 a.m. in the morning. People have got jobs, people have got school and everything.
It's almost as if someone's putting a curse on us, and they said, "Tell you what, right? We've got rid of Bruce. We're not too sure about our next manager, but shall I tell you something? Just to make your lives even more of a misery, you know that game against Sunderland on Saturday. We're going to switch it to a Monday, a couple of weeks before Christmas," and they're going,
I know, yeah. Right, guys, to end off, Dad, got a question for you and the viewers. Who would you want as the next Derby manager?
Short term, Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock, okay. I like style. Guys, me, Carlos Corbian. I feel like he could change it if Balks when Huddersfield came. He looked all right. I think we got a gamble now. It's worth something, isn't it?
Our Showtime reputation depends on it, Dan.
I know. Guys, make sure you put down in the comments your thoughts. Dad, what time is it?
It's showtime.